July 10, 9:49 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Sorry. Well, this is it. Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We'll call them back after that. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Darian, wait. I never liked you, either of you. Huh? Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo. He didn't want us to hear what Marky had to say. And I think I know why. Time to bring down that little justice. Whoa! What the hell? He is heard but unseen. Up! Valid Grammary! Using the door like an average muggle, no less. You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valid? Ha ha ha! A preposterous proposition! How could I stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking! I might even have to sign autographs! That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day! Why? What? Ooh, with vanishing magic! Indeed, I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over! But before I go, a word of warning. Warning? What? A grand grammary glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. Glamour? A spell, a sorcery. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so. I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell! And there he goes. He sure seemed happy about that illusion thing. Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually it involves cutting people in half, I think that's it. Well, the Eiffel Tower, anything really. So he was talking about what he saw at the concert. Lamar's disappearing act. And Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar. I wonder what he meant by being at the root of all that happened. Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Oh, excuse me, sir. Yes. The scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. Oh, did something happen? This is the first. It was by the judge's request. Some urgent personal business. Great, I bet he stayed up too late last night watching courtroom dramas. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. The hospital? I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. Apparently his condition worsened considerably this morning. The Chief Justice's son? Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning the judge said he had to go to visit him after the trial? There's an article about it in the newspaper. You gotta read about it yourself. Oh. Incuratives. Oh. I'll let you read that article for us, Apollo. Just leave the TV guide page to me. Trying to lose the page for the funnies if you can. July 10, 10:30 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. My apologies for the delay. Court is now in session for the trial of, how do you say your name again? Marky Torbay, our suspect for testimony. Right, his trial, in any fact. Marky Torbay. The defense is proud, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Something wrong, Your Honor? No. Well, yes. It's just, I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time. Curious, was it? The article said there is no cure. Here, Judge, let me say, with all honesty, I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law. Indeed. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday. Asked Interpol about that number. IPXX314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Letus. Thanks for looking for that for us. Into that for us, Detective Crescent. It's great help. You're probably the killer, aren't you? Yeah, probably. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. And then
Wait! That voice just now. It was him. I'm sure of it.
it was him.
The voice I heard talking to Mr. Latouche when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darian.
No way. Fucking bitch.
Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Darian would guest star in the season cliffhanger as a suspect?
It's the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings.
Darian Crescent is a member of my band, the Gaviniers. He is also a detective, making the current changes serious indeed. Yet after investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case or file new charges.
And your reason is?
Weren't you aware, Her Forehead? He has an impeccable alibi.
An alibi?
Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Gaviniers ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guest took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Leroy, and Marky, along with a drummer and bassist, for a total of 5. And a nice 3D cutscene. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the 3rd set. Leroy and the defendant, Marky Tobai, had left the stage at that point, and the Gaviniers were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Sky, mind you. Napoleon, you heard them too, right?
I sure did.
Furthermore, Leroy herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime. When she claims to have heard Mr. Latouche and Detective Crescent talking.
But that's impossible. Detective Crescent was...
Precisely. Detective Crescent was on stage getting his groove, no less. Voila! A perfect alibi.
Does the defense have anything to add to this? It's true, when I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up. I feel like the igniter things have to do with this. Like, maybe he placed it in the piano so when they hit a certain key, the igniter turned on and thus the gun went off? Somehow? I don't know. Here's I have no objections. I believe we can safely say that Darian Crescent's alibi has been acknowledged. Which means that Lemoire was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true. Very well, of course. If we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no objections.
Oh, Pablo, if he declares a verdict now...
But Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. And Ron might have been lying to protect Marky. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center?
About the case? What about the case?
He wants to tell us about Mr. Latouche's death? This meeting's over.
You already said something there.
Marky was trying to tell us something, I know it. Maybe the best thing I can ask him to do is ask him under oath. Very well, the court finds the defendant, what was his name again?
Objection!
Your Honor! No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquise or Miss Justice? Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness.
Exactly who else do you need to hear from?
A witness who until now has not been given the chance to speak in the court. Because he doesn't speak English.
You don't mean...
I do. The defense calls defendant Marky Tobai to the stand. Well, what? But he doesn't speak English. We'll use an interpreter.
Interpreter, I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as I love you and where is the toilet?
I'm sorry. That's just too funny for me. The defense would like to request Lamroy as the interpreter. Lamroy? Well, there's possibility she's protecting the defendant. But she'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie? This is most unusual.
Bravo, Herr Forehead. Herr Judge, the prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lamois lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of language should be enough for that.
Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal. Finally, some progress. Bailiff, please show the defendant Lamar to the witness stand.
Hello.
Hello. My dudes. I thought you didn't speak English. Oh yeah, I lied about that too. Oh, you know these glasses? Yeah, they're actually bionic. You see Men in Black? Oh, god damn it. Everyone mind a race!
So, I suppose there is a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name to begin with, if you would, Lamois. Yes. He says Marquis Tobai, the defendant.
This is certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really needed an interpretation of the message in particular. So far, so good. Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would. Huh? If I would what, Your Honor? Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about? What do I want him to testify about? I haven't thought that far yet.
Polo, aren't you going to ask him what he was about to tell you yesterday?
How can I if I don't know what he was saying?
Excuse me a moment, if I might speak.
Yes, Lamar.
Just now, Marquis said there's something about which he wishes to testify.
Marquis wants to testify about something. What could it be? What sort of testimony is he talking about?
One moment, please.
Ugh, the suspense is killing me.
What?
What? Well, Lamar, according to Marquis,
he has proof of his innocence.
What?
This is a surprise. Yoo-hoo, victory, Polo, we did it!
This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means. Well, if that's true, then this is the vital testimony. Marquis, please testify to the court.
Very well.
Proof of innocence.
He says that word of Mr. Latouche's death came as a great shock. But if killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, I, that is, he, could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them.
I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely.
I wondered what he meant by proof. Why, he would only have to ask Lamar to know the meaning of that song.
Lamar, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him?
I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked. Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? Lamar might be protecting the witness.
Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would.
Yes, Your Honor.
Something's hitting in that testimony, I know it. I'll just have to trust my bracelet and tell me where. It worked yesterday, it'll work today. Alright. This is the word of Miss Latouche's death came to. Were Marquis and Miss Latouche close?
Yes, after we traveled around the world on tour together.
Objection!
Lamar, this is Marquis' cross-examination, not yours. But I knew the answer. This is a court of law. We'll play by the book. I understand. When Prosecutor Gannon's tough, he's really tough. Marquis says he was very good friends with Miss Latouche. Miss Latouche was always a gentleman, never angry. We got along quite well. I never dreamt everything like this would happen. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of the song...
The guitar serenade, correct?
Yes, the crime followed the lyrics of the song. The theft of the keyring, the burning guitar, and the bullet. This is why it could not have been me. I, that is, he, could not have done it.
By could not have done it, you mean?
It is very simple. Marquis could not have done all the things that happened that day. For all those things happened, the song followed the song lyrics closely. says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them.
Wouldn't it be difficult for him to perform without knowing the meaning of the lyrics?
You do not know what the song was about its mood. Shall we say that was enough to play by? I told him it was the song about a guitar in love.
It's not actually the guitar that's in love, strictly speaking.
Well, perhaps I misunderstood.
Ah, no, not really. Yours is a valid interpretation. Okay.
No, it is my fault. I'm too used to singing in Borginian. It is much easier than trying to understand these lyrics. Yeah, I knew he was innocent.
I believe he is too, Trucy. I do.
What's wrong, Apollo? You got a tummy ache or something?
Something's hidden in that testimony. If it's the truth, I'll find it. My question is, does he actually understand English? There we go. His eyes moved. Gotcha! Just waiting for something like that. Marky, you can't fool my eyes. You glanced towards her the very moment Lamar said the word English. Oh, okay, I thought it was just his eyes moving. Why? Don't bother interpreting that he understands me. Marky, tell the truth, you can understand English, can't you?
What are you saying? Of course he can't.
Must he continue this charade?
Mr. Justice, Marky says this. I know the word English.
Huh?
Before coming to this country, you heard me speaking English. You learned the name for this language, that is all.
What? Give me a break. Is that such an unusual word to understand?
Do you not know Espanol, for instance?
Well, yeah, but...
I'm sorry, but he truly does not understand your language.
Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics?
Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? It is simple, so simple it hardly requires an explanation. You read about it in the newspaper.
The newspaper?
The Borginian Daily Bugle, you can buy it in this country these days, you know. They have already begun to report about this case in her homeland.
I was right.
What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they are quite fierce all of a sudden.
Marky's lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying. Yeah, they never actually talked about it in the newspaper. Take that! I have here a Borginian newspaper, the Borginian Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. Indeed, there is a feature article about this case. Could you read this for me, Marky? That's right, it doesn't mention the lyrics.
What is all this about?
I'm sorry, Marky. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in the Borginian newspaper. What does this mean?
But I don't see how it's possible. Ah, I know. You must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Yes.
That's possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning. I read the full report myself. So the lyrics weren't in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in the courtroom. In English, no less. The witness will explain himself.
Marky says he says...
Yes?
It is true I read the newspaper, but this is not where I learned the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember.
You remember?
He says he heard of the lyrics from me.
God. Is this true, Limrock?
Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself.
Then it looks like her forehead's been jumping to conclusions again. Seems so, yes. No. I was onto something, I know it. I can't let this chance slip away. Time is an issue today, Mr. Justice. Are you finished with cross-examination?
What are you gonna do, Apollo?
I'm gonna keep on cross-examining. I better have an angle of attack. Or else. My bracelet's still reacting. Your Honor, please allow me to continue. If you must, you must. Very well.
I understand. It was I who explained the crime followed the song. Okay. He says because the lyrics are in English, he doesn't understand them. It was I who explained the crime followed the song. So I'm gonna look at her weak point now. It's her neck that's the weak point, right? Yep, there it is.
Gotcha!
Lemra, currently cross-examining Marky. Why should you be uncertain?
Me? Uncertain?
Yes, you swallowed the very moment you told the court. It was I who explained.
You see, there is little point in trying to hide anything from you.
Lemra, you are indeed protecting someone.
That is not a questioning. It's not a question with a simple answer. To tell the truth, I do not believe myself. Then
allow me to answer for you. Lemra, you're protecting, Darian? No. Marky.
Take that!
Lemra, you're protecting Marky. That's why you lied and told us that you had explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Marky, I believe you didn't do it. Really, I trust you. But you've lied to us twice. And now you have Lemra lying on your behalf. If this is gonna work, you have to trust me, too. Your two lies cover a simple truth. If you understand English, you have to.
Ah! Is that meant to be him talking in English?
Witness, this is true. Do you understand English?
Yes, a little only.
What?
First he can see, now he can talk. And you did not know about this, Lemra. No, I did not. It is quite a surprise.
How many secrets is this witness holding?
Oh, I'm also bionic.
Boom! I can also shoot cola from my mouth. And I also have this curable cocoon thing for you, Judge. Fucking hell, Marky. Okay. Yep.
Lost, this is lost.
Marky, could you tell us what really happened?
No shooting. I did no shooting.
So, you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those 2 gunshots, correct?
Apparently, the answer to that question isn't simple either. I was in dressing room behind desk, manager, on floor.
Which would be after the shooting, right?
Then there is voice. Voice? Or voices? Was it you or you and Emma Apollo?
So when Marky went into the dressing room, Mr. Latouche has already been shot. And then we came into the door.
Panel high up, I take off. Run away, run away.
So it was you who escaped through the air vent.
As the prosecution has held all along, no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession?
Objection!
No, he's clearly denied that he did it.
I know shooting. Manager on floor, already on floor.
Objection!
The victim had already been shot, you say. I find that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter. Does the defendant have anything to say to this?
He's clammed up, Apollo.
Then let's ask Mr. Justice. Will you require any further testimony from the witness? Is this it? Is there nothing else I can get him to testify about? Wait. No, of course there is.
What is the cocoon anyway? The cocoon, the silk, is a potent cure. A cure? Well, Monkey, are you a smuggler? He won't tell me.
The cocoon has something to do with this. Monkey, please tell us the truth for your own sake.
No more speak, not to any of you. So much for your precious trust, Hair Forehead.
Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him.
Regardless, this brings us to an impasse.
It does seem that the defense and defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. I see no course but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we might proceed. Oh boy. July 10, 11:23 a.m. District Court Defendant Law 2. Apollo Eustace. That's justice. Better learn how to say it if you ever want to get some.
Believe I know shooting.
Marky claims Miss Latus was already down on the ground when he entered the room.
Maybe it was a trap and he walked right into it. Suddenly, I hear a revolver. Close, very close. Then I hear a voice.
You heard gunshots.
Yes, it is true. I hear a revolver, but only sound.
Wait, you were saying you went into the dressing room and found Miss Latus already dead, and then you heard shots. What?
What? That makes no sense. So you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those shots?
And you escaped through the air vent.
I know. What do you know? I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
So the vents went both to the stage and backstage. So that's what he means. Hey, he's right.
Hey, he's right. Look, Apollo.
Huh? Yeah. But how do you know it was connected like this?
Wait, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something. I hear this from Magician. Oh, that's how they did the trick. Right?
Magician.
Don't look at me.
Magician, huh?
Well, at least we're clear on one thing. Marky didn't shoot Miss Latus.
Yeah, but what does that leave us? We're supposed to say you went into the room to find the body and then you heard shots? That one's going to go over well in court. Not.
Polo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies. That's what Daddy always told me.
I'll just pretend you misheard him, every time. So, what do we do?
You sure you won't testify, Marky? No talking, no. Well, if it was worth a shot.
Now, Cocoon.
I can't go home. Can't go home. I can't go home to Borginia. I do not want to go home.
The trial's punished with death. Of course he's scared. Oh, well, I guess we'll just have to try a different approach.
That's the spirit of Polo, so what's your plan?
Monkey won't testify about it, we'll have to go get someone else to testify.
Someone else?
I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there.
Right.
July 10, 11:28 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Court is now back in session. Come on, bitches. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant? Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk. Very well. So he will testify. Yes, Your Honor, the defendant. Your Honor, the defendant will not testify. What?
Shame, and here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around.
Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle. A different angle? If Marky won't testify, then I know who will. I'll have to cross-examine the witness in this case, Legrand. Legrand? What are you up to now?
I thought we determined yesterday Lemrard's testimony was insubstantial.
There's nothing you can... Lemrard was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries. What happened? She was assaulted, Your Honor. Assaulted? Someone wanted Lemrard dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself. What? I've heard no such report. Prosecutor Gavin. Why would anyone be out to kill Lemrard? Can you think of a reason? Well, think of how she is known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could that have been? You don't think? I do. It was the same person who shot Miss Latus. The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that someone was hidden in her testimonies yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want to get out.
So am I to understand that this is what you were saying? Namely, that there is a nugget of truth in Lemrar's testimony. A nugget we have yet to uncover.
Exactly. Lemar was attacked. This has serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lemrar's testimony once more.
Lemrar, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak. You need not apologize. I know that Marquis is innocent, and I will do that. I will do all that I can until the court realizes this.
Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots in the shooter's voice through the window, and that the voice belonged to Darian Grisend, yes?
That is correct.
At which point I proved she could not be correct. She couldn't have heard any of those things.
The small window at the scene was closed and was found to be quite soundproofing.
You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice. I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there.
There is, it seems, much you do not know.
And yet it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to the court.
Of course, Your Honor. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage. That's when I heard the Miss Lotus and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. There was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window.
Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my description is lacking in some way. Yet everything I have said here is the truth.
And it is my distinct pleasure. What you have said is to have happened is impossible. Do I have to repeat myself? Lemar was attacked because of this testimony. What, Trucy?
Apollo, you know, for a moment there, you were pretty cool.
Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead. Very well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness. Yeah, cool, bro. Cold to steel. Someone way here from the stage at the back. Hold it.
Is something wrong?
I raise an objection. She's saying the same thing she said before. Mr. Justice. Sorry, it's nothing. Please continue with your testimony. Now I know what they mean about the reckless youth these days.
The one in red over there is a shining example, Herr Judge.
You're the last person you should be pointing fingers, Mr. Rockstar.
That's when I heard that Miss Lotus and the detective calls.
Darian Grisend.
I do not know his name at the time, but yes, it was definitely him.
How many times do I need to remind you that's impossible?
There is no way you could have heard him, because the window at the scene was closed.
Is that why?
Of course. Although if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere.
She's right, maybe there's a different angle I can try. What were they talking about? Lemar, do you by any chance remember what they were saying? If so, please tell us.
I have given it much reflection, but
I was afraid of this, she doesn't remember.
I only heard one phrase clearly.
A whole phrase? You remember something that was said. Why didn't you say something?
Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I didn't understand what she said.
That can't be it. The clue I've been waiting for. Well, what did he say?
It was the other man speaking, not Miss Lotus.
The shooter, then Darian Grisend. Well, what did he say?
It's over. Please, press the switch, now. What?
Switch. And the shooter said this to the victim, Miss Lotus.
I thought it quite strange myself afterward.
It is a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this? I mean, sure, I'd be delighted. So, very, very vital. Maybe we could add that to the testimony. Oh. 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 Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The headsets. The headsets. When the headsets are near a stronger signal, they will connect to it, right? So, she couldn't hear them through the glass, but if she was close enough, I'm sure her headset would have connected with the frequency they were on, if that makes sense. And so maybe Darian was talking to someone on the other end, and she overheard what he was trying to tell him because she was close. Because the frequency go through walls and stuff like that, obviously. So maybe that's how she heard him. That would also mean that Darian didn't have to be in the room. She could have just been, I don't know, there could have been just Mr. Latouche in there. And she would have just overheard Darian's voice because of the frequency. Maybe? That would explain why Darian was on stage, but yet he was still able to do things. Oh my god. So stupid. Why didn't I think of that? Maybe, Apollo. In the small window, I heard a voice say, "Press the switch now." It was Detective Darian Crescent's voice.
Yes, I'm sure of it.
It's over. Press the switch. Why would he say that to Mr. Latouche?
Apollo, the murder weapon, the revolver, was Mr. Latouche's, right?
Yeah. What of it?
Well, maybe when he said press the switch, he really meant to say pull the trigger. Because his English isn't so good.
Darian Crescent is a native speaker.
Oh, right. Sorry, I kind of forgot who was what.
Press the switch. That's not something a killer usually says to his or her victim, is it? Was there no one else in the room?
I do not know. All I heard was Mr. Latouche and the detective.
I heard the faint sound of a gunshot was stopped, then I heard another gunshot. There were 2 gunshots.
Yes, I heard 2. One after the other.
That fits with the bullet holes in the scene. Nothing really new here to pick up.
There was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but...
Why didn't you tell someone immediately?
Well, I...
For me, I would have gone to the police right away. It's our duty as citizens.
This may be besides the point, but Lamar isn't a citizen. Though one would hope such a common sense prevails all Virginia as well. Lamar seems awfully quiet all of a sudden.
That's strange. Could she be hiding something?
It is as you say, yet at the same time. I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window.
Okay, whoops, I need to go back to that. You're in a hurry. To go where?
I was on my way to the backstage exit, so I have said.
Why were you in such a hurry then?
Well, I don't think that has anything to do with this case.
Very well might. Please answer the question.
Objection!
Are you alright, Lamoire? Yes. I am just tired.
Recall what I told you yesterday, Fairfornia.
Lamoire suffers from serious amnesia. Please refrain from traumatizing her further.
What, so he can just dismiss questions he thinks are too traumatizing?
One should prove her reason. Prove her reason had a connection to the case before asking about it, yeah?
Prosecution's objection is sustained. Current question is moot. Mr. Justice, please continue with the cross-examination.
What was the typos of the testimony?
There she was.
Maybe there's some detail we're missing.
This would have Doug. Get her to fill in the blanks.
Great.
Okay, so obviously...
Small window I heard voice say, press the switch. There's this.
Objection!
Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words.
Oh? Yet there was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch, save the lights.
True, there wasn't a switch at the scene. But it just so happens, I have a switch right here. That certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it? problem is, this was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage. The stage? Where the concert was held, yes. This was found hidden there. On the stage? Are you claiming that the voice Leroy heard was of someone commanding another to press the switch? It's a possibility. Yeah, I do think that. Forehead. I'd call that an impossibility. Why? It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert forum. The stage is quite far from Lamar's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gabonese are in the small middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band. We could shout all you want and not be heard. The detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout. So too have Forehead's cry as a possibility fallen far short of being heard. Sorry, but he wouldn't have needed to shout. Excuse me? You heard what I said, or do you need me to shout it out for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage from the dressing room. Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this, it would be easy to get a message. The headset. Take that! Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this. Why is that? Why? What is it? That's some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking. This is a type of transmitter to communications device. Communications device. From what I've heard, that night, everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, actually, therefore, talking between band members. We all had one. So you admit that if you're wearing one of these, talking from the backstage to the stage would be simple? Yes, it would, and I just put direct link, of course. If you do that up. Objection! True, but wait, those send out electronic signals. To avoid interference with the audio systems, their range is quite limited. Lemron said it was about 30 feet, right? Look at this cross-section diagram of this concert forum. Ah, exactly, the walk from the stage to the backstage seems far. The direct distance is less than 30 feet. That can't be! So when Lamar heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage. Objection! Huh, you're claiming that is the switch in question. Why did it have to be on the stage at that time? It could have been placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hid it on the stage after the fact. Hey, he's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice? When the shooter said press the switch? Well, I guess we don't. An unfortunate situation. I'm afraid that until we know where the switch was, there's little point in debating it. I was sure this was the way to go with this. What is the switch, anyway? We don't even know that basic fact. Wait a second. I do know what that switch is. And if you follow that train of logic to its incredible conclusion, it ends up in proof that completely changes the case.